Welcome to the Battleship of North Carolina. We are going to be exploring the ship today, so let's get ready. The Battleship is located at 1 Battleship Road, Northeast, Wilmington, North Carolina, 28401. If you need more information, visit www.battleshipnorthcarolina.com. Before we go explore the ship, we're going to look at some artifacts they have in the lobby. This is a 120-piece silver service and was in the battleship's wardrobe in April 1941. It is a legacy because it was dated back from 1907 and was removed from the battleship when they went to war in 1941. This is a photograph of the battleship arriving in Wilmington in October of 1961, and it is arriving on the Cape Fear River. No vessel in America's World War II battleship fled as long in combat or with greater distinction than the USS North Carolina. Everyone was very proud of her. This was an original flag that was flown on the battleship and only has 48 stars. Do you know how many stars we have in our American flag today? If you guessed 50 stars, you're right. The flag that we saw from the previous flag was flown on this North Carolina ship during air attacks in Gilbert Island of 1943 in the bombardment of Noro Island in December of 1943. Now we're going to explore the ship. We're going to start off on the top deck and explore some of the artifacts they have there. And then we're going to go inside the ship and explore more and see what they have inside. This bronze bell once rang proudly aboard the armored cruiser North Carolina from 1908 to 1921. She cruised the Caribbean and Mediterranean in humanitarian and diplomatic activities. Armored cruiser North Carolina escorted American troop transports across the Atlantic and later brought American troops home. The armored cruiser was a type of warship of the late 19th and early 20th century. It was designed like other types of cruisers to operate as a long-range independent warship, capable of defending any ship apart from a battleship and fast enough to outrun any battleship it encountered. Now let's learn about some interesting facts about kingfishers aboard North Carolina plane that sat on the top of the deck. The purpose of this aircraft was spotting gunfire, patrolling for enemy submarines, rescuing airmen, towing targets for anti-aircraft batteries, dropping messages to ships at sea, flying mail runs to ports, making flights for radar calibration. The seaplane was hoisted over the side and took off from the water. For landing, the plane lands near the ship and is hoisted aboard while underway. Plane lands 1 mile ahead of the ship. Ship catches up to the plane and hoists plane aboard. Plane lands near anchored ship and is hoisted aboard. Now we're going to learn about the guns that they used on their ship, but they called these the big guns. The big guns are 16-inch guns comprised North Carolina's main battery, her most destructive weapon. These big guns provided impressive firepower. They could accurately fire at a target 21 to 23 miles away, depending on the type of projectile used. They stored the projectiles in the upper and lower deck. The 2 levels below the electric deck provided storage and handling for the 16-inch projectiles. There is also an elevator type hoist for each gun, which lifted the projectiles up to the gun rooms. The lower of these 2 levels is open for touring, which we might be able to explore later. The 16-inch guns are housed in 3 turrets. Turrets 1 and 2 are located on the bow, while turret 3 is on the stern. A turret is a massive circular structure that is supported and rotated on a ring of heavy rollers. Each rotating turret structure consists of 3 16-inch guns and all the equipment required to aim, load, and fire the 3 guns. Unique to a 16-inch turret is that each gun barrel may be elevated independently of each other to compromise to North Carolina's 5-inch guns, in which both barrels must be raised and lowered together. Come on and follow me while we go and head inside the ship and explore all the artifacts they have. Here we have the kitchen where the crew members ate their meals. Here we have the vegetable locker and the vegetable prepping room, where 2 spaces used for preparation of vegetables for meals. 6 to 10 junior crew members, usually seamen, worked in the spaces for 3 months at a time and received an extra $5 a month in pay for this duty. Work is done in the afternoons and evening for the next day's meals. This is an image of where the seamen would sleep. Seamen slept all over the ship where they could find bunks to sort. This would be where 4 seamen would sleep. at the laundry room, issue room. It was washed, pressed, and folded. Officers' clothing was brought here to be sorted and placed into each officer's personal cubicle. A steward maid checked in and picked up the clothing from the laundry operator at the receiving window. The laundry washroom was a 24-hour service. The laundry washroom handled all the crew's dirty clothes. It ran 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 6 men worked in the laundry. They worked in rotating 12-hour shifts. 2 men were on duty at all times. Service was free. This was the only way the crewmen could wash their clothes, but many crewmen worked out other ways to getting clean clothes. One crewman said that he used to tie his clothes on a line and throw them overboard. They would hit alongside the ship when they were underway. I would hang them on the wires along topside to dry. In the video that you saw before was called the cobbler shop. Cobbler means someone who fixes shoes. This person provided shoe repairs and was assigned to the ship. His hours were 0800 to 11:30 and 1300 to 1600, Monday through Saturday. Service was free except for repairs such as half soles, rubber, and leather heels. Can you believe it or not? There was a post office that they had aboard the ship. This post office was a lifeline to loved ones. The post office was one of the most popular places aboard ship. Mail served as a lifeline to family, friends, and loved ones for the crew members aboard. The post office aboard any United States ship was an extension of the United States Federal Post Service and had to adhere to all rules and regulations regarding mail handling and delivery. Stamps and money orders were also sold here. When at sea, North Carolina's mail was delivered by destroyers. Destroyers are people that went into port, picked up mail, and delivered it when they came alongside to refuel. Once received, the bags of mail were sorted for distribution. Who doesn't love ice cream? And they sure had it on this ship. Ice cream is made and stored here. Sailors purchased their favorite ice cream or sundae at the soda fountain. Cooks also used ice cream for their meals. These are what some crewmen slept in, depending on what division they were in, and they call it a berth. This is a bed that comes with a mattress cover, and a fireproof cover. The Navy issued each man 2 blankets and 2 sheets. You're expected to change your sheets weekly. You had to purchase your own pillow. Some men folded their blanket and used it as a pillow. Here is how someone described sleeping below deck. They said it was hot, no air conditioning, air was taken from topside outside and blown into the living compartments. At night, when you slept in your bunk, you sweat, your mattress would get real damp. When you got up, the first thing you did was cover up your mattress with a fireproof cover. This would be almost airtight, and after a few weeks, your bunk became pretty ripe. First chance you had, the ship would air bedding. You would take your bedding topside and air it out. Here we have one of the many shipboard repair shops. Navy ships operated hundreds of miles at sea. Ships returned to a base only for major repairs or damage. North Carolina had to be prepared. She carried her repair shops with her. These shops fixed broken or worn out parts. Each shop specialized in a particular type of repair. The Battleship could repair almost anything on board. These shops also provided repair services to smaller ships like destroyers. The machine shop fixed broken or worn out parts made of steel or brass. This shop could repair or duplicate any piece of gear. Laths made replacement shafts. The planer shaper thinned and cut pieces of steel. Certain specialized or oversized equipment would be repaired at a shipyard. Here we have the big communications board. The communications is the sound-powered telephone switchboard. Almost everyone in plot were sound-powered telephones so they could communicate with other stations throughout the ship to collect and dispatch critical information. Other means of communication included lighted signals, buzzers, regular telephones, an intercom system, and hand signal. Here we have the dentist's office. The ship had 3 dentists. They handled everything from regular cleanings to oral surgery. Appointments were needed to see the dentist. The ship's dentist pulled all 4 of my wisdom teeth the same day. I had no pain. For thanks, and since I was a butcher, I made him a beefsteak sandwich. The steak was tenderloin. No better meat than that. Here we have the scuttlebutt. I bet you're wondering what scuttlebutt is. I was wondering the same thing. They're drinking fountains. Scuttlebutt is also the Navy slang for gossip or rumor. Sailors exchanged gossip when they gathered at the scuttlebutt for a drink. Now we're back at the top deck. Now let's explore what these anchors and the rest of the ship has to offer. We're going to learn about the Union Jack and the anchors away. The blue flag with white stars flying from the bow is our country's Union Jack. A jack is a small national flag flown by the ship. The Battleship has 2 Balt patent anchors, each weighing 25,883 pounds. A abandoned ship. The captain could give the abandoned ship order due to fire, sinking, or other life-threatening condition. If the crew heard abandoned ship, they would report to their embarkation station with life preservatives, balsa life floats, and float nets. If possible, they were to cut loose and launch the two 26-foot motor whaleboats. There were and are life floats and float nets mounted on the main deck in 01 level. That's all we have for today. Thank you for journeying through the Battleship with me, and I hope you had a great time and learned a lot. See you next time!